Hello everyone and welcome to another high-low game of Age of Empires. Today we've got a battle of the charge attacks as Lewis, playing as the Burgundians in blue, prepares to take on Barles, playing as the Dravidians in red. Now all the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP. Not a bad opportunity for us to take a look at the two civilizations we will be watching today. Oink, oink, and you got it, oink. Now, the Burgundians are an oddball civilization. Speaking of the oink you just heard, oddball civilization with some of the craziest, wonkiest features and upgrades in the entire game. Militarily, they do focus primarily on cavalry, being the only civ in the game with access to cavaliers in the Castle Age, and their unique unit, the Coustelier, is a medium cavalry shock unit that has a massive +20, +25 charge attack. Now, to support their cavalry on the field of battle, Burgundian gunpowder units that come with extra attack, and they do have access to a second unique unit, the Flemish Militia. This is a medium infantry unit with a pretty decent attack bonus against cavalry. Now, that's still not enough army for you. You want more, because you are military, you are jingoistic and greedy. Well, the Burgundians can conscript their entire civilian population by turning each and every single villager into a Flemish militiaman, and then being able to train even more of those units out of their barracks. Now, in order to help pay for the Burgundian war machines, their stable techs are 50% cheaper. Any relic they collect generates food in addition to gold. All economic upgrades are available in Age earlier and are cheaper food-wise. And their farmers, well, they've been reading their Adam Smith Wealth of Nations because they can be upgraded to generate a small amount of cash money when they till their fields. Now let's take a look at the Dravidians on the right side of the map in red, played by Barles, very much an infantry civilization. To start with, all Dravidian barracks technologies are half price, similar to the stable technologies of the Burgundians, and all their infantry units can be upgraded to ignore enemy armor, essentially turning each and every single Dravidian infantry unit into a Lithuanian Latus. This is, by the way, great news for their unique unit, the Urumi Swordsman, a medium infantry unit that gets a massive +12, +15 charge attack. And by the way, that charge attack, unlike the Coustelier one, the Urumi Swordsman one does trample damage. Now, to support its infantry on the field of battle, all siege units are a third less wood in terms of cost. Their cavalry also benefit from the upgrade I just mentioned, where their attack ignores armor. But before you get a little bit too excited about that fact, remember the Dravidian stable line is probably one of the worst, if not the worst, in the game. Their skirmishers, their elephant archers, do attack 25% faster, and their elephant units can be upgraded to regenerate 30 HP per minute. Now, to support its military, perhaps not a bonus I'm expecting to see on Arabia, but their fishermen carry 15 extra fish with every trip to the lake, the river, the sea, wherever they go fishing. And every time you go up in age as the Dravidians, you do get 200 wood for free, which does help in the early stages of the game when villager allocation and management is essential. Or maybe you can use some of that extra free wood to train some of those discounted siege units. Those are the two civilizations, oddly, interestingly featured and mirrored. One with a cavalry unit charge attack, one with an infantry unit charge attack. The Dravidians in an absolute powerhouse with the Wootz steel upgrade, one of the craziest and most powerful in the game. That is the upgrade where their infantry and their cavalry ignore enemy armor. Speaking of crazy upgrades in the game, how about converting every single villager into a military unit in what we like to call the button? Now, long before there was the Wololo, Red Bull Wololo controversy, controversy in quotations, and small c controversy with the patrol movement that Red Phosphoru introduced, that the CBA community has known for a while, long before other controversies in this game. There was actually both of these civilizations involved in some controversy, one between Hera and the Viper, actually, in terms of the Dravidians and how good they are, but more importantly, the button. Man, oh man, did this upgrade, this technology, whatever you want to call it, this feature of the Burgundians cause a lot of consternation in the AoE2 community. Speaking of consternation, Lewis is already getting pressed into here by 3 militias and a scout. By the way, that gives us an opportunity, forget that, 4 militiamen and a scout. Why the hell not upgrading them further? Once he hits Feudal Age, Barles is 50% cheaper. Attack path also pretty darn open between point A and point B, but these are villagers. They've got loom, they've got armor, and they've got swords. They have the right to bear arms, and they know it. So I'm not too sure how much damage these militia units are going to get. And by the way, with cheaper upgrade costs to turn these into the next iteration, I'm not too sure that Barles should really be attacking right now. He's kind of throwing away some HP on these units. One of them is basically dead. They've gotten very little accomplished. The villagers actually have a lot more HP than these militiamen. That being said, let's see how bad or good this fight. We haven't even looked at the resources yet. The action has already started. And by the way, now that I'm looking at the minimap, do you notice something to the back of the Burgundian base here? There actually is the ability to fish, and that is a pretty giant lake for Arabia. So if our Dravidian, if Barles had spawned in this particular position, maybe we would have seen that feature of the Dravidians where their fishermen carry more seafood come into play here. And there you go, militia is down. Barles still over a minute away from going up to feudal. Again, I really am wondering why he's engaging into these units. This is like engaging as the Turk with 4 or 5 scouts right on the verge of them becoming light cap, or as the Bulgarians with their free militia line upgrades. Barles just threw away a whole bunch of units for a whole bunch of nothing. 5 kills to 0 for Lewis, our Burgundian, and the attack has been stopped. No follow-up just yet. Maybe a little bit of a follow-up here. 24 seconds away from feudal gives us an opportunity to take a look. What killed this blue spearman? I don't see a kill here for Barles. I guess Lewis must have deleted that spearman accidentally. That's an odd little thing there. Maybe some more eagle-eyed viewers would have been able to catch that. There's the men-at-arms upgrade. And once they become men-at-arms, they will be a little bit more dangerous here. Remember, the HP on these villagers has been softened up somewhat by the first wave of militiamen. And I still, by the way, have not looked at where the resources are. I mean, Barles, Lewis, give a caster a break here. And here we go. Let's see what they can get done here. It looks like the scout to the rear of Barles's base is also engaging. But this scout is incredibly weak. Takes a few pokes and bites the dust. At the same time, of course, I missed one of the militiamen dying, which is a men-at-arms dying. The second one does die as well. And a third escapes with 3 HP, no kills whatsoever. And for the second time in 12.5 minutes, peace has fallen upon Arabia. So I can finally look at the bases and see where the resources are. Primary gold, center position, not bad, not great. Primary stone very exposed to the front, but an extra patch of stone to the back, an extra patch of gold to the back, and an extra patch of gold kind of south away from the attack path. Not a bad location for some secondary resources. Forests, not really very helpful, which is why Lewis is spending a bunch of wood here as his wall-off begins its construction phase, and he already has used an archery range as part of that wall-off. Barles, for his part, half a wall-off to the center, wall-off to the north. Forests also not very helpful. Gold exposed to the front. Primary stone to the back. I like that. Additional pile of gold. Is this 1 pile? Is this 2 piles? Is this 8 piles or 9 piles? Nobody knows. Welcome to Age of Empires. And just to the south of his settlement, additional gold. Okay, so both players have their gold. Extra second and third down south. I mean, he sees the villager constructing the palisade, but there's no way that Barles is going to want to engage. Why is he even keeping this unit around? For vision? Must be for vision and scouting. I can't imagine a 3 HP unit unupgraded is going to accomplish very much here as a spearman, pardon me, a skirmisher is being joined by another skirmisher, a third skirmisher, and an archer already here. Okay, both players tearing into each other's wood lines. It looks like red is not paying attention just yet. Loses all. So close to losing some HP on his units. Kill count stands at 7-3. It looks like these archers, right as I pivoted away for the second time this game, looks like a unit did bite the dust. Barles killing 2 villagers to the 0 of his opponent, but Lewis still ahead with those really bonkers gets there of those militiamen. Again, I really am curious why Barles decided to throw away 5 units right at the very beginning of the game, but he is not stopping. The parade push is real. It is continuing unabated. In the meantime, these archers who have gotten 0 kills are returning home. Looks like Lewis might want to plop another house or 2 down. Okay, he is housed at 40. Not for very long, but I thought blue was going to wait until these archers made it back, but no, they're just kind of hanging out here behind a forest. A forest which, by the way, has another little river with a bit more shorefish in it. So, okay, maybe the Dravidian feature might actually come in handy here. Looks like a red archer died to the south, a blue archer died to the north. I apologize, I don't like to zoom out this much, but there's a lot of action happening. Skirmishers on the low ground managed to take out archers on the high ground. Welcome to the world of counter units. This one Dravidian unit still hanging out with 3 HP. Nobody wants to deal with him. He's not even being microed at this point. Neither player really wants to deal with that one unit. He is persona non grata. 35 villagers to 39. 4 army count to 9, but Lewis does have defender's advantage here. Able to reinforce his army much quicker than the Dravidian, who has an archer hanging out, not really doing much, but with 5 HP. Pretty understandable with so many blue skirmishers out. House is being repaired. We'll see whether or not Barles can get anything done here. This very forward pressure has allowed him to keep Lewis back and has allowed him to gather his resources completely unopposed, despite some idle time and some relaxation time for these villagers. And he is now 2 minutes away from going up to Castle Age. Lewis has a good amount of gold. I'm assuming once this market completes, he will buy a bit of food and try to click up himself. For now, though, is still about 500 food away. No, never mind. Bought 300 food, bought 100 food, but he sold his stone, as did Barles, to do it. But Lewis does... okay, there we go. I was about to say click up to Castle Age, but he didn't, with 100 stones still left in his bankroll. So we are going Castle Age off of relatively good amount of aggression from our Dravidian, who is now housed for a second at 55, gone up to 60. Another house here will go up to 65. And here we go. We're just trading out a little bit of Feudal Age action here. Front door has been opened. Burgundian army is out. Never mind. They don't like what they see, and they run back home. A house blocking the path, and the Dravidian army finds itself stuck out in the cold. But Barles will have about a minute advantage over his opponent once he hits the next age. And it looks like possibly double stable. I'm not sure what that was. It didn't have the building indicator on there. Immediately going long swordsman, crossbow, and bodkin. Oh, and by the way, a cool feature of Capture Age, you can actually see now all of the various costs of these barracks technologies and their various discounts as compared to any other civilizations. Northern portion of the settlement is under attack. That one red Dravidian infantry unit is still there in the back of this Burgundian base. Wall off is complete, but the skirmishers find themselves on the wrong side of it. They immediately die to these swordsmen, these crossbowmen, and the skirmishers as well. So an interesting little maneuver there out of Lewis. He sacrifices his Feudal Age remnants. What does he care? He is going up to knights, 2 knights at a time off of double stable. Now remember, if you wanted to go cavaliers, it wouldn't cost the 300 gold that it cost. Oh, pardon me. That it costs everyone else. Oh, it shows the paladin upgrade, which, look at that cost of paladin. Isn't that ridiculous? How cheap that is? You save on both resources, by the way, as the Burgundians. It's not just like a gold discount. It is a discount on all the costs, the total cost. And the knights are out. The tower has been preemptively placed. It is on fire. But high ground Burgundian units should be enough to absolutely decimate this Dravidian force. Our Dravidian, in the meantime, getting wheelbarrow, has brought forth another small army. Crossbowmen do have bodkin, as we saw earlier, which means these knights that have actually +2 armor. Okay, well, there you go. Bodkin nullified by the extra armor nullified by bodkin. So it just becomes a matter of brute strength and HP at this point. Husbandry being got for our Burgundian now. Obviously, you can't have everything in Age of Empires. It's not exactly a a genie lamp that you can rub and request a million different things. And so, of course, the Burgundians notoriously missing bloodlines on their cavalry units. Just, you know, like the Poles missing the last armor upgrade for their cavaliers. Similar principle. Can't always get what you want. Second TC going up for our Dravidian. Okay. Interesting location to get more wood. I'm trying to look at the base to see there's a lot of hills here. And so I don't think he could have placed it anywhere here. Placing it near the stone, probably not the most optimal. Now this is a fantastic location for a TC. Gold, lumber, protecting the southern edge of your base. Not that you need much protection at all at this point. You are the one putting on the aggression with 5 pretty much healthy knights. Let's see the Cavalier upgrade. Previous wall destroyed, new wall constructed. Knights have returned home. Not really sure they want to face some pikemen and crossbows at the moment. Whoever wins that battle, it's not a good battle for the more gold intensive units at all. And now that there are more and more crossbows being added, we kind of know who's going to win this battle. Oh, look at you. You're back on patrol. Well, wow. Making yourself a little bit useful here is this one long swordsman. By the way, the last of the militia line units for our Dravidian, whose southeastern flank is about to get discovered. Attacked, he asks? Yeah, this forest extends all the way to the edge of the world, and Lewis is going to discover that right now. Sees the bamboo, gets scared, and runs away. Another band of knights, basically perfectly healthy as well. Just kind of waiting, hanging out. Ooh, will they be able to catch a monk? They do see the monk. The conversion is attempted. This is a long road to get to that monk. And the RNG works in favor of red, but a sour turn of events there for Lewis. Even though he did get the monk, he did get that 100 gold. He loses not 1, but 2 knights for it. But Lewis is pressing in here. I'm not too sure these houses are even connected. Kind of looks like there's an alleyway between them. We'll keep an eye and see how much progress these melee units can do as Barles yet again shoves his way into the northern portion of this Burgundian base. But crossbowmen, you're not exactly Vietnamese. You don't have that extra HP, so not too sure you can engage underneath a tower. Barles agrees, but ooh, a little bit of miss-clicking, miss-micro, whatever you want to call it. And just like that, the tower manages to pick off, and just like that, looks like a knight, 2 knights, and 2 pikemen did bite the dust here. Why do I feel like there was a conversion at play there? Why do I feel like there was a conversion? Unless that was that converted knight from before. Because our Dravidian is going heavy on the monks at the moment. Would love to see some cavaliers out of our Burgundian. No, I think this is the converted knight. In any event, whatever happened there, we'll have seen it in picture as we will see what is happening there right now. It looks like 2 fronts have been opened up to the rear of the Dravidian base. Pikemen managing to stop these knights. Another red knight, another, it looks like, monk here. I'm assuming that's a monk. Bites the dust, and now Blue's going to discover yet another town center. Was he here in time to discover this siege workshop? Probably not, right? Because the foundation hasn't even been laid. There we go. Looks like the pikemen have cleared up that 1 blue knight to the rear of the red base, and now this blue knight will die as well. And yet again, find ourselves in a bit of a lull, a cessation of hostilities. Very aggressive 4th town center for our Burgundian. Villager counts for both players pretty similar, 71 to 76. Army count 14 to 26. A lot of that is crossbows for our Dravidian. Their crossbows don't exactly get any special features. It's their skirmishers that fire faster. Our Burgundian is adding more knights. He's got 3 monks of his own. Nobody's collected a single relic, despite the fact that we've seen a whole bunch of monks out on the field. Great get there for the Mangonel initially. Okay, second volley does kind of shit the bed. The third does the same. Knights will close. They will kill it. Will they escape unconverted? Why did you turn around and run away? I mean, run back. Why did you turn around and run back? Silly, silly knight. Yet another conversion. And another blue monk bites the dust. Or rather, another monk, period. Imperial Age for our Dravidian. He's got 14 villagers on stone. This blue monk wants no part of the war. He wants nothing to do with any of this kind of aggression and death. He's a man of learning, a man of the book. And so he is just out there looking for relics at the moment. Love the location of the castle. May not deny the stone gathering operation, but it will certainly start picking away at the HP of the town center, and it's got the only high ground in the immediate vicinity here. Unless you can take this high ground. No villagers on stone for our Burgundian. He's got an extra 121 in the bank, which means he can, if he wanted to, put down a replacement town center. Army count 2.5 times bigger for our Dravidian, but villager count is identical. Both players at 4 TCs each. Although 4 TCs with an asterisk, as it looks like this Burgundian TC might soon bite the dust. You're still here. I mentioned last video how, you know, sometimes you've got guests over at your house, your apartment, and they just don't take the hint that you kind of want to go to sleep. Party's over. Everyone else is gone. They're kind of hanging out because they got nowhere else to go. That's what that infantry unit is there to the back of the Burgundian base. He did not get the message that, hey, buddy, time to pack up. Party's over. Get the hell out. Monk will see the TC going up as well. So as he returns home with the relic, getting a good amount of vision. Another blue monk bites the dust here. Both players are just able to pick off the high value targets of the others. But where is Lewis going with this monk? It is going to run straight into a bunch of crossbowmen and die. And I guess Barles should say a big thank you for bringing the relic to him. Okay. You can't lead a horse to water. What is it? Bring the water to the horse or something? Castle, defensive castle going up for our Dravidian. Really? Really? A defensive castle after this really offensive one? Interesting placement there. I guess he doesn't want to get raided by the Burgundian. Town center, by the way, has fallen. Mangonels are still here. Our Burgundian is very confident in skirmishers right now. He is rejigging his economy so that he could buy the stone that he needs to get a castle up. Beautiful location, by the way. Very much king of the hill castle. But he needs another unit. He needs something other than skirmishers right now. And this is exactly why he needs something other than skirmishers, because in the blink of an eye, just a few quick pancakes and no more skirmishers. Will the castle go up? It's at 82%, definitely going up. Red might want to start backing away with these mangonels. They are dead meat once that castle goes up. I love, by the way, that Lewis went after the retreating crossbowmen and the knight. He knows that these mangonels are not going to escape anywhere very quickly. They're not the fastest units. Oh my god. Oh my god. 39 minutes into the game, he finally gets surrounded. He gets a villager kill before he dies. That is incredibly sour for Lewis, who has now lost 10 villagers and whose stone mining operations are now being interrupted by a few annoying pikemen. They're not going to kill your villagers quickly, but they will eventually get so annoying you have to deal with them. And another hilltop castle. Is every single castle in this game on a hilltop? Ah, you love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. 116 villagers for our Dravidian, 105. And there's the Cavalier upgrade. He's going up to Cavaliers. He's training skirmishers. He's got no gold. 2 trebs. Pardon me, I had to mute the microphone to cough. 2, pardon me, 3 trebs are out for our Dravidian, who now has Urumi swordsmen in the queue. 5 going up to 7. There they are. If you're not sure why this unit does trample damage, go into YouTube after you're watching this video, after you've watched this video, pardon me, and just search Urumi swordsman and you'll see exactly why this unit does trample damage. This is a triple threat, crazy unit. Why do I say triple threat? Number 1, charge attack. Remember, plus 12 for the base model, plus 15 for the elite model. And these are elite, by the way. So with forging, that plus 15 becomes plus 16. Number 2, the charge attack does trample damage. Look at this, in a 0.75 tile radius. That is a bigger tile radius than the Persian war elephant, just for comparison. And number 3, if we get to see Woot Steel, oh my god, I willed it into being. There's Woot Steel for our Dravidian. It is going to ignore armor. Triple threat, charge attack, trample damage, ignoring armor, and they are heading to the rear of the Burgundian base. I mean, look at this. Not exactly the tankiest of infantry units, but look at that attack. 27 on an infantry unit. No, you're not looking at a Shotel warrior. No, you're not looking at a dismounted Georgian Manaspa, if there is such a thing. And in they come. One Treb immediately falls. Second Treb falls as well. What's going on to the rear of the base? We've got Cavaliers, and they are taking on the Urumis. I don't know that you want to take on Woot Steel Urumis. Look at them eating, shredding up these Cavaliers. Holy shit. Did a single Urumi swordsman die there? Oh my goodness gracious. That was about as bad as you can possibly get. Now, once that charge attack does dissipate and disappear, they do drop down to a base of a 10. Now, they should be at a 14, but there's no blast furnace yet for Barles, who is continuing to stream more and more Urumis. Murder holes on the menu for Lewis. You know it's Lewis, a protege of Hera's, when he gets murder holes. I mean, Hera is the only pro player consistently getting murder holes, and so is it any surprise that his, for lack of better terminology in Age of Empires, his Padawan is getting murder holes as well. Bomber cannon should clear up this trebuchet round. Well, not too sure why it took him so long to fire there. And now he's going after the TC. 16, 15, 14, 1300 HP. And all of a sudden, there are Urumi swordsmen and outposts just everywhere. Well, maybe not everywhere. Now they're kind of congregated underneath this TC. I'm a little surprised he's attacking the TC. Okay, but half of the units veer away and start attacking the Cavaliers, and wow. Just like that, the Urumi swordsman yet again. I've casted games. We've seen where this unit just, she's dead mid-fall, the game ends. Wow, we've seen games where this unit just absolutely shreds through armies. Doesn't matter what you put in its way. Woot's Steel triple threat. What a beast of a unit. And by the way, speaking of a beast of a unit, not that expensive. 65 food, 20 gold. Not that expensive for what you're getting, a triple threat. This unit needs to be, I don't know, maybe made a little bit more expensive. I'm not sure. Let me know if you agree, disagree. Now, the charge attack, for what it is, I believe it's 20 seconds for the elite to recharge, which is pretty damn quick. But holy moly, what a fun game. Not too sure what to make of Lewis's reliance on skirmishers right up until the very end there, when he started adding in Cavaliers. But honestly, at this point, an Imperial probably should have had Paladins out. But again, without Bloodlines at 160 HP, even Paladins might have trouble dealing with an Urumi swordsman that attacks on a 14 with Blast Furnace in 49 seconds, ignoring armor. And cost for cost, I don't know who wins that battle, but wow, what an amazing game out of both players. Lewis just continuing to get attacked over and over and over again. I think he sent his scout here once. It got killed immediately by the villagers. And then Barles just fighting. I couldn't believe my eyes when he got this village. Was it this villager kill? No, it was another villager kill. It was a different villager with that one swordsman. At the 39-minute mark of the game, after being in the back of that base for like 25 minutes, he got that kill. But ultimately, I mean, what the hell can you do against this unit? 27 attack, about to jump up to 29. 29 attack on an infantry unit, ignoring armor. I mean, there's nothing you can really do, especially not with your town centers falling, especially not with your castle. By the way, still up. You've cleared out the Trebs, but the attack is kind of inside. The call is coming from inside the house. It's like the opening scene of the first Scream movie, where Drew Barrymore picks up the phone and realizes, hey, wait a second, the call's from inside the house. I think that was Scream 1. I think that was Drew Barrymore, right? I think. Could have been somebody else. Could have been a different movie. I don't know. It's a Could have been a completely, I could be just making up a whole bunch of shit that makes no sense. But in any event, the late game Urumi Swarm is real. We've seen the Viper use it to great effect. We've seen many a high elo player use it to great effect. And in this particular game, it's Barles' turn to do it. Let's take a look at this. Again, 66 skirmishers. I question what the point of that was. Maybe he just thought that Barles was going to overcommit on crossbows. Still, 26 Cavaliers for, let's say, half the time Cavaliers, half the time Knights. PKPM, pretty much similar for both players. Oh, look at that. 37 seconds in, 37 seconds in. very similar. And very similarly timed. 12 Swordsmen didn't really last very long. Didn't really do much. And Barles, again, I bring it to the viewers. I like to get your opinions on things. Should he have wasted those original militiamen? Or wherever they were, somewhere here. The wood has been so jacked. I think it was here, right? This is still the original wood line, if I'm not mistaken. But wow. I don't know why he went so heavy on the skirmisher play, especially since he saw that siege workshop going up a while back. The Dravidian does get 4 relics, denies the extra food. Now 333 gold. I believe they do generate, what is it, 30 food per minute, if I'm not mistaken. So just a little bit of food, not too much. For this gold, it looks like he got the relic pretty late in the game. Our Burgundian economy is about 6,000 resources, 6,500 resources apart. All of the resources but wood going to our Dravidian. A lot more stone, a little bit more gold, a lot more food, and down a bit of wood. Conversions 3 to 4. I thought that was going to be a lot higher with all those knight conversions. 12 raisings to 1, and there's that badass upgrade, Woot Steel, one of the most dangerous in the game. For a civilization that already has, like I said, a triple threat dangerous unit. Total kill count 143 to 112 at the end of the day. 38 villager kills. Barles just running roughshod, whipping and whiplashing these poor Burgundian villagers left, right, and center, and there is nowhere for them to run. This is completely open. They're still in Urumi here attacking a house. This town center ultimately still stays standing, but our Burgundian's down to 2 TCs. He was at 4 a minute ago. 2 TCs, right? Yeah, only 2 TCs. I'm not sure why I had a bit of a brain fart there. But the infrastructure is now under attack, and only the 2 OG stables look like they are left. A couple of archery ranges. Did he get... he did get chemistry. And remember, the Burgundian hand cannoneer in a bonus or feature that I think more properly belongs to the Bohemians. Instead of the usual 17 attack, this hand cannoneer does 21 attack, and then on top of that, 10 bonus damage to infantry. So I wonder if Lewis could have just added in some hand cannoneers, but now that I'm looking at where his gold is, I don't see very many villagers on this gold patch. This one's been pretty much mined out, and this one has not been mined out at all. Looks like about 750 of that gold has been mined out, and not very much of this one. So Lewis, maybe, okay, at least he's focusing on the external gold. Maybe he should have focused on gold a little bit more as opposed to all this wood and food. And then he maybe could have gotten out some more cavaliers, or maybe some hand cannoneers would have been fantastic. Remember, the Urumu swordsman for an infantry unit doesn't have the greatest amount of HP. It's not like a Woad Raider or a Teutonic Knight, for example. 65 HP. When your unit attacks, let's say, a hand cannoneer for the Burgundians, 21 minus 4 is 17 damage plus another 10 bonus. 27 damage basically means 3 hand cannoneers needed to one-shot an Urumi. So before this unit can even close on the hand cannoneers, if you got 3 of them, they will one-shot. So maybe could have gone that. Maybe doesn't really matter in this particular matchup. The Urumi swordsman just absolutely overrun the defenses. This Burgundian base is open for the raiding, and with that raiding, it is Barles who takes the W, kills 38 villagers, and shows us, more importantly, Woot's Steel and how quickly they gobbled up. Where was it? Here. You can still see their bodies. How quickly those Urumi swordsmen gobbled up those cavaliers in a matter of milliseconds. Now, I don't think a single Urumi died in that exchange, but that was an absolutely epic battle to behold. The Trebs fall, but the castle's still up. At the end of the day, without enough resources to do what he wants, Lewis realizes that he has to tap out to live to fight another day. Does exactly that, and it is Barles, our Dravidian Red, who takes the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.